Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another math lesson with Mr. Hopkins. Today we are looking at equations of lines, and we're going to determine the points of intercepts. So whether it's the x-intercept, y-intercept, understanding slope. So here's 3 bullets I'd like to go over. It says determining if a point is on a graph. First of all, to determine if a point is on the graph, we substitute in our values for x and y, and if we get a true statement, then that point's on the graph. If we get a false statement, like 9 equals 12, we know that's not true, then that point does not lie on the line. So it has to make a true statement in order to be on the line. So let's take a look. Determining intercepts of a function. Substitute 0 in for the opposite letter of the intercept that you're trying to find. For instance, if I'm trying to find the x-intercept, then I'm going to plug 0 in for y, and I'll solve for x. If I want to find the y-intercept, then we plug 0 in for x, and we solve for y. And then we'll write it as a coordinate point. Okay, so examples. Number 1. Determine if the point -7, 2 falls on that line. So remember, every point comes with an x and a y value. So I'm going to plug that in. So rewriting this, 5, instead of writing y, I'm going to put in 2. -8 equals 2 times my x value, which is -7. All right, so let's see if we're correct. 10 minus 8, does that equal -14? Does 2 equal -14? No. So that point is not on the line. All right, number 2, determine the x and y intercepts. So once again, to determine the x-intercept, you plug 0 in for y. So this is what it's going to look like because they should be ordered pairs. So the first one, remember every point has an x and a y. Plug 0 in for y. So 2 times 0 is 0. They cancel. 43 equals 5x. And then divide both sides by 5. So x equals 43 fifths. Excuse me. So 43 over 5 goes here. And now the other one. To find the y-intercept, you plug 0 in for x. So let's start all over with the same equation. 2y plus 43 equals 5 times 0. So 2y equals, I messed up again. Let's see here. 2y plus 43 equals 0. Subtract 43 because I'm solving for y. And then divide by 2. So negative 43 halves. Okay, so those are your x and y intercepts right there. Number 3. We have 4 examples to go over, and each of these examples, it's asking us to write each equation in slope-intercept form. That's y equals mx plus b, and then identify the slope and y-intercept. So to get y by itself, we want to get rid of whatever's not attached to it. So add 3x to both sides. And then we'll divide by 3. So if this is the equation of the line, the slope is, remember in the equation y equals mx plus b, the slope is the number in front of x, represented by m. So the slope is 1. And the y-intercept is 5. And actually, let's since we just learned how to write up here, we learned how to write the x and y intercepts as ordered pairs. It is going to be 0, 5. That's the y-intercept from now on. Okay, part B. Before we can determine the slope and y-intercept, you have to get y by itself. So once again, let's get rid of what's not attached to it. So let's subtract 5x. And then we'll divide everything by 2. Okay, and the slope, -5/2. And the y-intercept, or the b, I'm sorry, is 0, 4. 2 to go. Subtract x. Notice how I wrote this? I put the negative x first, and that's a positive 6. I brought it down. And to get y by itself, divide by -3. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive. The number in front of x, remember, if there isn't a number there, it's really a 1, right? So again, negative divided by a negative is a positive. So I'm just going to have 1/3 x. That 3 stays on the bottom. And 6 divided by -3 is -2. So the slope, let's change my pen color so it stands out. 1/3. The y-intercept, 0, -2. Make sure we take the sign that's in front right there. Okay, the last one. To get y by itself, let's subtract 6x to both sides. Don't forget the sign that's in front of the 4y. That is a negative that has to be carried down. And lastly, divide everything by -4. So we have y equals, I can reduce this. Well, a negative divided by a negative, we're going to keep it as a positive. So I can have it as 6/4x. I don't have to reduce, but I can. 6/4 reduces to 3/2x. -20 divided by -4 is a +5. And let's determine the slope and y-intercept now. Slope, number in front of x, 3/2. And the y-intercept, as an ordered pair, is 0, 5. Nice. All right, so that is today's lesson, slope and y-intercept. But mainly, the newest thing we learned today is right here. In order to write x-intercept and y-intercept, they should be ordered pairs. Okay, and again, to refresh our memory, to find the y-intercept, plug 0 in for x. To find the x-intercept, plug 0 in for y. If you have any questions, please reach out. Have a great day.